This episode is brought to you by Suburbia Custom Event Apps.
Where smart matching leads to smarter meetings, helping delegates connect with the right people, book with confidence, and make every conversation count.
Well, hello, everyone. This is Tess from the Event Tech Pull-Up. I'm excited. I'm so happy to have someone who is special to me, special to us in the event tech world. And it's a different voice because she's not coming from an event tech company. She's not coming to us as just a meeting planner or an event planner or event organizer, but she's coming from a different space. I'm going to allow her to introduce herself. Her name is Mia Masson. I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Tess. Yes, so my name is Mia, and I have known Tess since 2020 when I got started in my event tech career. I was working in an event tech platform called SwapCard right around the time when COVID hit and everything went haywire in the industry. And I think I started actually 1 week before the first lockdowns were in place.
I don't think I knew that.
And I went into this job thinking, okay, cool, it was an event mobile app. And I thought, cool, I'm going to get to travel a lot for different client events and, do marketing over there and help clients with the mobile app. And then 1 week later, the whole world was in lockdown. And they were like, wait, now we have to develop a virtual platform. And it all went crazy from there. But then event tech really, as you know, went into shambles and then picked itself back up like a phoenix from the ashes.
I remember when you reached out to me.
And then I met Tess through this. The marketing team at SwapCard created our first virtual event as an example to show clients, look, this is what you're going to have to do now. You're going to have to run virtual events on our platform because everything else has been canceled. And we invited you and Dahlia and a bunch of other amazing people that were already like role models to me in the event tech sector in 2020 to speak at these events. And I'm really glad that we did connect then because here we are today. And since then, so I was in charge of content marketing for SwapCard for about 3 or 4 years. Had a little hiatus to have my kids, and I've come back to the industry recently as a freelancer. And so I am working as a solo agent, and I have just decided to stick with what I know and love, which is event tech. I'm obsessed. I'm a total geek, and I can't get away from it. And I really don't want to work in any other sector, like niche sector in the industry.
Fights you, and you're like, I gotta go, but no, I can't. I gotta go. It's like an addict, right?
Some days I'm like, is it too niche? And then I'm like, no, I already know everyone in this space.
Yes.
And I love it. And I'm truly passionate and interesting about it. When my friends or family ask, what do I do? And I go and talk about event tech, and I have to explain that the events industry is an industry within itself. They already don't understand. And then I have to say event tech within the events industry, I lose them. But I keep talking, and then I have to reel myself in and be like, Mia, that's so boring for people who don't know or care. But I've been bitten by the event tech bug, and now I work with multiple event tech providers, as well as an event tech community and an event tech consulting company. And I do a little bit of consulting as well for organizers who need help or support or advice when it comes to sourcing event tech.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. So when you said you work with them in consulting, are you helping them examine their event tech stack, or are you on the marketing side? Like, give us a little bit more about what aspects that is.
So that was, it's just been one project that I've done with an organizer, and I helped them to go forward with their next sourcing of event tech. So they were looking to change, and I had to help them kind of narrow down the players and what would work well for their specific events, and help them choose which ones they should, demo with and talk to and sign with eventually. And I would like to do more of that because I really found that one a lot of fun. The majority of my work now is doing marketing, everything from content to social media and newsletters to founder-led marketing for event tech companies, communities, and consultancy firms.
Absolutely, and I love that. And that's why I wanted you all to hear from her, because that's a totally different angle we don't necessarily hear from often. So as you know, Keith and I kind of did this thing. To my friends, I said, we did this thing. And we have the Event Tech Atlas. And I really want to know from your perspective, when you heard about it, no matter how much or how little you heard, what came to mind? And when you were going through that process with your client, what kinds of things did you run into? What might have been missing? What did you wanted? Yeah.
Well, I have to say, everything I'm going to say, you know, because you already founded Event Tech Atlas, so you already know it. But it feels like something I could have made myself. That's how aligned I am with everything that you're providing with this directory. It feels like something that I could have dreamt up myself after conversations that I've been having over the past 9 months, maybe a little bit more since I've gotten back into the industry. It is so spot on. It is so necessary, because the conversations that I've had in one project alone, I had 25 multiple hour-long interviews with about 15 event tech platforms and 10 event planners, big to small. And my questions to them were all about the tech sales or tech sourcing process. And I did this as part of a project with Dahlia last year. And what we found was that there's a real miscommunication between planners and providers. That relationship is messed up.
It's broken.
And
why? Tell them why it's broken, because the people don't talk about it. We don't know. This is new. This is like on the ground floor, uncovering, or let me see, pulling the rug out from over the dust that was swept up underneath it, that we can actually put it out on the table and make hopefully a clear way. So we've got to talk about it. We can't hold it in, the things that we've experienced.
Why is it not talked about more? I don't know. But I think putting it out there is going to help with communication. Communication is the only way to make a relationship work. And Dahlia's idea of doing this through a relationship lens was really effective, because that's exactly what it is. It's relationship building. It's relationships that require trust, that require communication and openness, and that's not happening. So what complaints I've heard from both sides are that, event tech providers say that event organizers don't really know what they want or what they're looking for, or they're unwilling to change or make changes because it's just a lot of effort. If they are signed in to contracts with an event tech provider they're unhappy with, it's going to take a lot for them to change. Even if their attendees are complaining about the tech experience at their events, even if heaven and earth should be moved, they're still...
Even if they're spending a lot of money that they can't or shouldn't be spending or can't afford to spend.
Exactly, and not seeing the ROI, it still takes a lot to get them to switch. And I don't know why that is. And I have theories that it is because the sourcing and the buying process is so painful.
It's broken.
It's so broken that they prefer to stay locked into something that is making everyone unhappy and costing them too much money, rather than take the plunge and go for something new. Because it's difficult to find something new. It's difficult to know where to go to find it. You go to an event like we're at here, which is Confex. It's a fantastic event. But the event tech providers are kind of spread out. It's not always clear this is a big complaint from the organizers. It's unclear what they do, what they provide. All the language is confusing. It all sounds the same. They have no idea. A lot of them are not tech fanatics, I'd say, like me, but also not even very regular tech users. So when they look at a website and it says all the buzzwords, all in one, AI assisted or AI matchmaking, or mobile app versus platform versus integration. It's just
So as a marketer, you even get mad with the marketing terms.
for
That
real.
we hate.
That's why I think as a marketer, everything should be stripped down and everyone should just say what they mean. Not only does it actually cut through the noise of AI-generated content, but it also stops wasting time. Because I am an avid techie, and I go onto some event tech provider websites, and it takes me 4 scrolls and 5 clicks to find out what this company actually does. That's not good enough. It's not working for the organizers who have less time than I do and who have less tech experience than I do. So that whole process is broken. Why I believe that Event Tech Atlas is coming at the perfect time, maybe not, maybe it's even we've been waiting, like something like this has needed to happen for a while now, but into the perfect space is because when an organizer needs to go find new tech, if they eventually get sick of their old tech, or they have never used tech before and realize it's time to start gathering data where they haven't been doing so historically, there's no one space where they can actually go and do that. And now Event Tech Atlas is there. It's not only there as a directory, but it's going to be there with qualified, with integrity, peer reviews, the trust and the credibility that can bring to say, look, qualified people have gone through and reviewed these tech companies, and it's like Airbnb. If I think of myself as a consumer, I have never booked an Airbnb that had 0 reviews on it before. Not because I'm cynical. I trust that it could be a good experience, but I don't want to be the first one to find out. I want to go off someone else's review and be like, okay, at least one other human said something good about this. That's how we build trust in marketing. Evangelical marketing, or reviews, or testimonials, or case studies, proof builds trust. Marketing on its own doesn't build trust. So that's why I think Event Tech Atlas is going to be really an amazing space for organizers to come and source brands for their events that they know they can trust because of the peer review system. And also what I love the most about it is how it gives it space, equal opportunities to the small players and the big players.
Absolutely. That's what we wanted to happen. And you all, I did not pay her. I didn't. I just heard her say something, and I said, I'd love to talk. The angle is there. I did not. But it was, like I told you, it was important for us to have the integrity. Like, we didn't want to do anything any other way, because that's what we had been doing, and we just wanted people to have. And I'm glad you mentioned, Dahlia, we all work together. That's the spirit of what we do is always been to help the industry from the beginning as a unit, not competitors or anything like that. So what we also have, which I didn't show you, is we have an agency page too, where we have Adam's up there, Dahlia's up there, and several others are going to be up there as well. Event technologists who've been doing things in this space, so that people can say, well, you know what? Okay, great. I've done all of this. Now who can help me?
Yes, they're going to be like, can someone hold my hand and help me make this decision? They've got the comparison and they've got the reviews thanks to Event Tech Atlas, and now they can actually bring in an expert and be like, okay, I just need help making that last decision of who I'm actually going to sign with. That's fantastic.
Beyond Keith and I, because Keith and I are going to do office hours. They can ask us questions and things like that. But we're saying, here's our trusted group of people who we know how to do it, and we know what can happen at that point. And hopefully that will make that gap that you all found in your research about what's happening on the buyer side and the supplier side smaller and smaller, so it becomes more familial, more like a family. Like we all together want to make great events. And how do we make great events? Not the us and them piece and that pulling, that tugging that shouldn't occur.
No, and the hiding things from each other and the complaining behind each other's backs. That shouldn't be the case. It should be all out in the open. And for you, I mean, this is probably going to be a challenge for you and your team. Well, I'm challenging you to continue listening to, just having conversations, listening to what both sides are saying, and keep improving your platform, like updating it based on what you hear. Because it is an eternal, as trends change, budgets, tariffs, COVID, anything
like that.
Can happen.
Yeah, we did an article already yesterday that's already up there on the U.S. tariffs and what it can mean for our industry and what it means for event tech. So people can go out even now to the eventtechatlas.com and actually read something like that. And we want to do more of that, giving more tips in real time as to what's going on, if something comes up in the news, how it's affecting us. But most importantly, say, what is it happening? Can I go to a player who's in the market, who's doing registration, and they've been doing it for years a certain kind of way? Are you considering changing your roadmap based on what the conditions are going on in America right now? Are things happening during that time? And there's a couple of things that are going to come down the line with the product that people may be shocked about, but it's leaning more and more towards more clarity and more transparency in the entire process.
Exactly. And what I said earlier about having big and small players is another part of that transparency. And it's so important because, as you were saying so eloquently, not every event needs a Rolls Royce. Sure, you've heard of the big names in the event tech industry. They're trusted. Lots of other, peers and organizers who work with them. It would be easy just to go and be like, well, everyone's using this platform. I'll just sign with them.
Absolutely.
But it might not. It's very likely not a match for your specific needs. And there's very likely different, smaller, new, less tested tech out there that is just not that known, and this directory will give those a chance. And then you do get the big events that do need the Rolls Royces and that do need to go for the big brands. And great, it's there for them as well. But as a discovery tool, I think it's going to be very interesting. And I really hope that organizers will use this to not listen to any of the noise and what other people say in the industry, and just figure out what works for their audience, keeping their audience top of mind and their, long-term business goals. I hope that it allows them to not just sign because a list of features has been met, but because they have found something that truly matches with their needs, their goals, and their audience.
Mia, thank you so much for being here. I wanted to make sure that everyone knows her. She's Mia Masson. How can they find you?
LinkedIn, Mia Masson.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you.
Thanks, Tess.